Hi everybody, it's just a quick update that I'm going to put separate to this video. The smoke tube that goes in to fill up the smoker is stupid because to the length you need to be able to sneak your hand under from the back of the tank, because once it has the side skirts on, or the sand skirts, whatever you want to call them, you can't get your hand in there to push it onto the attachment point under here. It's impossible. You can't do it. With my sons, I did this, but the tube I used was slightly longer, and I think it's still kinked. So I cut through, I could get some tweezers through to put the pipe onto the pin. But the tube on this one was too short. I must have cut it too short when I took the sand skirts weren't on. I didn't realise. So what I've done is, and it's a bit old-fashioned, and I cocked up, actually. I won't lie. I should have drilled it out so that the tube came up through the hole nice and tight-ish. Because otherwise, when you put the cap on, the smoke comes out the hole and then just goes back into the tank. All right, so I've had to stick a bit of sprue, come on focus, into the tube. But at least now I can put the tank back together again and put the smoke pipe through rather than it kinking. It'll still work. I'm going to fill this hole with a bit of plastic card. I don't like that there. And then I'll put this cover on so it's a bit more watertight. And it works. This works. So you can take the top hole off and then reattach the smoke pipe, smoke filler pipe. Otherwise you can't. So to fill the smoker up, you'd have to undo the tank every time. It was an idea by COOLBANK, but this is the problem as well with the Stewart tank. The same thing. The reason why none of those smokers worked when it first came out is because the smoker pipe, when they put the tank together, fell off the smoke machine that filled it up. And then all you did was pour loads of smoke fluid into the tank. So that's what's wrong with the Stewarts. And it's the same with the Crusaders. If you put the sand skirts on, you cannot reattach the smoke pipe. And if you do manage to reattach the smoke pipe, it will be kinked, so you can't fill it up anyway. It will just fill up with smoke fluid. So yeah. Can I get this back off? So as you see there, it'll kink otherwise. So I've cut a great big hole through there. It should have been small. It should have been the size of that pipe. I'm stupid. I don't know if you can see through there, but you see? Then it goes up here. But I can't, I can't do this by really filming it. So it goes up here, and then you keep your hand there until it comes up through that hole. Do you see it? There, and then you close the tank up and slowly move your hand out of the way. Or if you want, with two hands, you can grab that with a pair of tweezers and hold it there while the tank closes up. Okay, so all I did was hold this with a pair of tweezers and then drop the lid of the tank, and it does the job. Okay, that's old-fashioned. I know we always use a screw, but I thought we'd use a bit of sprue. It just bungs up the hole so that when you actually turn the smoker on, let me just quickly show you. Oh, it is on, isn't it? We turn the smoker on. It doesn't come out the hole there. And then you can literally just put this on top. So you need to just take that off, pull that out, and do that smoker. But don't do what I did. Don't make the hole too big. Make it the same width as the tube. All right. Anyway, so now it works with smoke coming out the back, but not coming out there. So you can't use it anyway, and it's kinked over, so it won't fill, or it'll fall off. Or what happened with the Stewarts is when they put the top of the hole on, because it was so kinked, it just pulled itself off at the top of the smoke machine, and then when you poured fluid in, it would just pee out all over the bottom of the tank, and it wouldn't go into the smoker. Anyway, I'm going to fill this hole up and then do that and carry on the rest. Little separate 2-minute video. I might do this as a short, all right, just to show you. But yeah, if you do that, make the hole when you chop the nipple off the bottom the same size as the tube that you're using, so it's a snug fit. Don't do what I did and cut the hole too big, because otherwise you're going to need to use a pin to bung up the end of the smoke tube. But if it's a nice tight fit around there, and you can wiggle it up the hole, then it should be fine. Okay, right. So I filled that hole back up again. And you see, just like that. If you don't push it back through the hole. If you do it better than me. Drill the hole. It's really hard to see. Drill the hole to the diameter of the pipe. So that means you won't have to put a lump of plastic in it. But it still works the same. It's not a screw. It bungs up the hole and it stops the smoke getting out. And like I say, this goes on top. If you make the hole the same size as the tube, it means that the smoke won't go back into the tank. I just got peed off with it. Stupid. So what you would do when the side plates aren't on, the reason this all happened is because I realised I'd cut through the side plates like I normally do, but I don't need to because these join by overlapping. They actually go together like they should do. That's because I don't know much about Crusaders. This is a bit of fun. So I redid the back of them and put some plastic card down it so that I knew that you couldn't see through them, because I want to take off some of the bolts to make it look like they're missing because of stress. So I went to put the thing back on again. I went, oh, I've done this with Harry's. Cut this out. And then I must have cut this pipe smaller, because when these are off, you can get your hand under, push it onto there, and then drop the hole down onto it. But with these on, you are truly biasedly unable to do it. But if you do it this way, you can fill it up. And if you leave the tubing the same size it comes from COOLBANK, it just kinks. It kinks right over, and then you can't fill it up. So it's pointless to be there. It's pointless to be there. So I think it could have been a tidier solution. I cocked up. If you do it, make the hole the same size as the pipe that you're using, so it's a snug fit. There shouldn't be a reason that it shouldn't be. And also you've got to remember that when this goes back on here, you've even got a bit more room to play with up here. So you could make the pipe even stick out there even further. And you put your hand in through the... This looks a bit wrong. It's like I'm a farmer. You put your hand in the back there in a large rubber glove and some Vaseline. No, I'm joking. And then you fiddle it up through the hole. And then you slowly remove your hand. And if you want, use a pair of tweezers to grab hold of it. And then you pull your hand back out, and then it pops up through there. Okay, and then you can still use the filler. The smoke fluid that you're putting in will go into the smoke unit instead of just staying in a kink pipe, or the pipe. Worst of all, what should happen in Stewart's, like I said, the pipe would come off the smoke machine when they've put it together at the factory. There'll be no smoke in it. You got to fill it up. I think it was on Tom Lee. He had no smoke. This is why. You go to fill it up, and all you do is you fill the tank up with smoke fluid. So you've got a baby oiled tank, and it won't work. And that's why. But this will work. Just do it better than me and don't cut the hole too big. This is a very short video, but I just had to put this up in case the rest of you are scratching your heads going, wait a minute, I've just taken the hole top off. How the bloody hell am I going to put the pipe back through again? This is how I've come to it. Probably a bit messy solution, but it works. Right. Anyway, can you see it? It's getting there. The other video for this is coming out with all these bits put on and what I've done to it and that. All right. If you like, share, subscribe, whatever, just go off and do something with your pipes. Have fun.